Is he setting a new trend for quarterbacks?
He is. First of all, about the cliff. Every single number for Tom Brady across the board, all the important numbers when you dig in are way down. Dinking and dunking more than ever, even compared to his own standards. Much, much worse under pressure, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Belichick, of course, has compensated by running the ball, essentially, by changing the kind of team they are. Nevertheless, if you're a game manager who's big on third down and you play when it matters most, that's still, there's nothing that can be said about that. But I got 2 words for you why this will be a trend and why the cliff is not as obvious to everyone else. Breeland Speaks. Remember Breeland Speaks? That's the Chiefs linebacker who had his hands on Brady. By the way, was the game on the line? It was late in the game. That actually, a score did decide that game. Essentially, game on the line in a game like that, AFC supremacy during the regular season. Hands on Brady. Go ahead. Brady walked into the end zone to score a touchdown. Since when does a linebacker allow a quarterback just to waltz into the end zone? The rules changes, especially the roughing the passer penalty calls, which were completely changed last year. That's when it really hit a new level. It was like, if you breathe on the court, if you look at the quarterback wrong, it's going to be a problem. Has allowed, there's always been late 30s quarterbacks, even some at 40, but it's allowed Brady, who's just now turned 42, he hasn't played at 42 yet, to have an age 41 season that was, other than Warren Moon's, Warren Moon and him had the best age 41 seasons of all time. Ryan Clark, why will it be different for Drew Brees? Or for that matter, Ben Roethlisberger or Phillip Rivers or the late 30s quarterbacks who are still, Phillip Rivers was in the MVP conversation. Drew Brees is a perennial MVP candidate. Ben Roethlisberger is still really good. In the next couple years, they'll be Brady's age. If you can't tackle the quarterback, why not?
Well, here's why it's not setting a trend. The trend is not Brady being able to play at this age. It's being able to play this well and his team compete at the level that they're competing. It's not necessarily the fact that you can still throw a ball at 42. It's not necessarily that you can avoid being hit at 42. It's can you have our team compete at its highest level, not in spite of you, but because of you. And yes, it has gone to more a dink and dunk. They did run the ball more with Burkhead and Sony Michel. The defense had to come up with plays. But in the game's biggest moments against Kansas City in the AFC Championship, it was Tom Brady to Julian Edelman. It was Tom Brady to Rob Gronkowski. When plays needed to be made, Tom Brady made those plays. And Drew Brees is a different animal because he's played on the same team for a long time with Sean Payton in a passing offense that gets the ball out. But you did see toward the end of last year, Drew Brees fell off, right? The early pick against the Philadelphia Eagles in the playoffs, that was on Drew Brees. And even with the call that you saw go the Rams' way,
that was a bad throw.
Drew Brees had an opportunity to win that game. Also, Ben Roethlisberger plays this game differently. And so though players will play later on in age, right? Mm-hmm. Though quarterbacks, as we saw with Brett Favre, we saw with Peyton Manning, now we're seeing with Tom Brady, there is starting to be that certain quarterbacks can play longer if they're at an elite level. Tom Brady's not setting a trend where guys are going to get extensions at 42. He's getting this extension because this team won the Super Bowl. Because this team went to 2. And the one that they lost against Philadelphia, Max, he went off.
Yeah, he did.
He killed them. And so I don't necessarily believe that what Tom Brady can do or is doing is repeatable.
Well, there's several things here. Number one, at 42, Brady will be better than these guys at 42 because he was better than them when he was 38 and compared to their 38 seasons, or 35 compared to their 35 seasons. He's the GOAT, right? So he's going to be better than them at the same age. The question is, will they be effective NFL starters at the same age? And I'm saying, yes, some of them will be now. The roughing the passer penalty has more than anything else, which was started last year, is affecting that. Now, you bring up, can they do it at an elite level? Rivers was an MVP candidate. Roethlisberger and the Steelers is a sexy pick. A lot of people are like, oh, forget about the Browns. Steelers are going to win the division. Who you got winning the AFC North?
The AFC North?
Yeah.
The Cleveland Browns.
Okay, so you and I have the Browns. A lot of people, it's like the sexy pick now to talk Steelers.
Don't go back to Pittsburgh.
It threw me off because when you went AFC North, I was thinking AFC East. I got you, though.
Roethlisberger, though, is still performing at a high level. And Brees is a perennial MVP candidate. So you brought up 3 guys. Now, you bring up Brees, it's how he tailed off, and that last throw, which, by the way, we all agree they got the call wrong, right? Like they blew it. Okay. If they don't blow the call and the Saints win, we have a different conversation. What about the fact that the last pass Tom Brady threw in the AFC Championship game was an interception, which was called back from a pre-snap penalty, which did not affect the play? I don't want to hear he knew free. Stop it. He threw an interception to end the game, but got the whistle. Drew Brees.
So the game wasn't ended then.
Well, but
so the game wasn't ended.
Hold on, it should have been.
But it
He
wasn't.
threw, but it should have been. So, but for the call of like a referee's whistle, we're having a different conversation. And then in the Super Bowl, it's the lowest scoring Super Bowl of all time. So what does that mean? Does it mean the quarterback did it? Of course, he has to game manage, and Brady's cerebral, of course, totally prepared. Clutch, we get that. But it's not like he was lighting it up in the Super Bowl. An interception to what should have ended the AFC Championship game, followed by the lowest scoring Super Bowl ever. And we're pointing to Drew Brees or Ben Roethlisberger or Phillip Rivers. You are, and saying, well, can they still compete at a high level when they're Brady's age? They're doing it now.
Well, here's the difference, right? You're talking about a Super Bowl where you say Tom Brady didn't play well. So should we also be down on Jared Goff because he didn't play
Yes.
well? Because he was outplayed by Tom Brady.
Yes.
Even in the game that he didn't play well. So you're saying going forward, the Rams should look for a new quarterback because Jared Goff can't do it?
No, I'm saying
there
Jared
were
Goff
games-
was bad under pressure in the Super Bowl. He
Right.
played poorly under pressure.
He's saying eyebrow raised at Jared Goff.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So there's an eyebrow raised at Jared Goff, but Jared Goff is going to continue to play. We're going to continue to see him improve. We're going to continue to give him that chance. Tom Brady was just as good. And the week before, Tom Brady was better. The week before, whether you say it was a tipped interception that should have ended the game or not, it didn't. And the throws that he needed to make to get them to that point, Tom Brady made. And also, if we go back to the Philadelphia Eagles Super Bowl, he was phenomenal.
Yeah, but now you're going back. At this age, every year is a big deal.
Right, exactly. So we're looking at him being better than Drew Brees is at this age.
Thank you so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.